What up? That's fun. Just get a little feedback to get started. That's exactly what I want. Makes me happy. No, it doesn't. No, nope, nope. All right, so I'm here doing a live stream, middle of the day. Just want to have some fun and work on this new font for now until there's something else maybe you guys want me to do. Maybe some drawings for some donations. I'm trying to earn enough to purchase a GoPro for my upcoming vacation. I've already got $100 donation, which is incredible. Shout out to Uno Mas, clothing company I do some artwork for. Super old friends. Really awesome. So I'm going to be shouting them out a few times in this stream and possibly in the rest of my streams for the week because a $100 donation is insane. So yeah, I'm just going to start working on this font that I'm already started. I'm going to kind of mess with it a little bit and see where it goes. I kind of rushed out the last few pieces here, so definitely need to clean those up. All right, so I just remembered I am attempting to stream to my YouTube at the same time that I'm streaming on Twitch. So I need to hop in there, make sure I can see this chat as well. Because it gives you the option to, it says multi-stream on Streamlabs. I forgot to look it up, like figure out how to get the chat from both in the same room here. But in the meantime, I'm just gonna rock with this chat open over here and hope it works out. Oh no. Yeah, little sloppy here on these last few pieces, but you know, I knew I could come in and tweak them a little bit. I do think I'm going to go ahead and lower the stroke weight on this just to make things easy on myself. I honestly don't know why I'm grouping these. I'm going to live trace them when they're ready. Oh, I just hit my mic with my hat. That is whatever the opposite of ASMR would be. So yeah, just casually working on this font that I started the other day. It's not super serious, but I do think this will be one of my fonts that I will be releasing before my vacation trip. But I do like the idea of having some of this process documented, and maybe I can pull some pieces out and make some short form content out of it. I don't know. We'll see. Play it by ear. All right. I got pretty much everything that I wanted to draw as the base. I know some people get mad at me for not doing like extended characters and things, and I get it. I definitely understand why people would want that, but I sell my fonts for $3. So my hope is that if you need to make special characters as a designer, like you're using these things in a way that you can add them yourselves. I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to add more special characters, but I don't know. It's not my intention to not give you guys what you're asking for every time, but it is my intention to make super cheap fonts. All right, so I'm gonna run. Yeah, so I hit that live trace, but with my specific settings for how I do type. But I really want to go in and kind of make this a little bit more roughed up. Like there's not any varying line weight in this, but I do want it to look a little bit more hand drawn and a little bit like smudgy, I guess. I don't know. I have a hard time coming up with descriptive words for some of the ways that I do things. So one of the main things that I do to get a hand-drawn look is edit these super clean, smooth lines with the pencil tool. And typically I will just like round out the corners, but I think for this font, I definitely want to like reshape some of this stuff and make it look more like I did this with a little bit of pen and ink, you know? But rounding out the corners is still a good way to get started because it takes those sharp lines away and gives you a good view of like what you could do to make it even better as far as the hand-drawn feel goes. Sometimes when you round out those corners, you can mess up some lines enough that it already kind of looks a little janky in the good way. And then you don't have to do too much more to it. I do think it's like pretty stupid though that when I make digital art, like drawing these fonts, I always try to make it look a little rough and hand-drawn. But whenever I'm doing something actually hand-drawn, I try my hardest to make it look like super clean and professional and not hand-drawn. I don't know. I do it backwards. If anybody's in the chat, let me know how your day's going. What are you guys up to? Are you enjoying your Sunday? I was just watching the movie The Good Guys. I've never seen it before. No, Netflix added it to their list recently, and a bunch of my friends were telling me to watch it. And so I've finally got around to putting it on, but I didn't finish before my stream started. Speaking of movies, so we had a garage sale yesterday, which is like, I feel like I unlocked a new like homeowners perk, which was the ability to have a garage sale in my actual front lawn. So that was cool. It was like achievement unlocked. But we had a few DVDs. We had like a big plastic bin full of DVDs, and I recently gave away a lot of my DVDs, like my old DVDs. I think I just donated a bunch, but there were some that I felt like I couldn't get rid of. Like it was just like hurting me to try to get rid of like Simpsons seasons, like box sets, even though they're available online to watch. I have most of them like converted digitally on a hard drive, and I don't even have one thing in my house that plays DVDs. Like none of my computers play DVDs. My Xbox is really old, and even though it still works, the DVD player, like the actual like disc part of it, does not work. The only other console I have is a Switch, so like literally I have nothing in my house that plays DVDs. Why am I hanging on to these DVDs? So I finally put everything out in the garage sale yesterday. I don't know. I was just hanging on for some reason. But yeah, by the end of it, like there wasn't even like nobody was even buying DVDs. Like everybody's in the same boat, I guess, at this point. But like at a certain point, there were just some things that we just didn't want and we were going to donate. And so I chose to donate some of my DVDs. But when we were wrapping up the garage sale, we put a little sign out front with some stuff that we just absolutely did not want to bring back in, and just put a free sign next to it. And yeah, somebody drove up and took the entire bin of DVDs for free. I don't know. Maybe they'll have a garage sale of their own and make some money off of those. I don't know. They'll probably have more value out of that than we did. But yeah, I think it was like the bin had seasons 1 through like maybe like 9 or 10 of The Simpsons. It had a box set of the original Star Wars trilogy on DVD. Like I think it was even like the crappy like special edition with the updated graphics, like George Lucas fancy weird alien with the big lips like singing. I think it was that version. I don't know why I was hanging on to that for so long. I think maybe there was like one Blu-ray of Scott Pilgrim. And then so my girlfriend's family brought their DVDs as well, so there were some in there. It was like a whole like collection of seasons of like One Tree Hill or some shit I've never seen before. So yeah, it was a very diverse bucket of DVDs someone got for free yesterday. But yeah, that was a very busy Saturday. So I was hoping today would be a nice, chill Sunday, and I could get a little bit of a stream in here while getting to work on some things for my shop. I do have some freelance that I need to do today, but most of that is not public facing yet, so I cannot really work on that stuff here today. But I would love to get closer to the end and be able to finish it off on stream. That would be ideal. So I actually have some really cool projects, some really cool clients and freelance right now. I can't wait until I can talk about it. But I don't want to... Well, one of them I've already finished. I'm just waiting on the payment. And that one's going to be super cool. I keep checking their website periodically to see if it comes up yet. And then the new stuff that I got, it's for a pretty cool client, somebody that I've liked for a long time. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. They reached out and asked me to do some designs, But again, don't want to jinx it, even though we're already started. I just, talking about things before they're done always kind of doesn't feel good. If something goes wrong, something bad happens, you never know. So I'm working on my personal stuff, a new font for my shop, and I usually give my fonts to my Patreon supporters early, and I always feel weird calling it free since they do subscribe and pay, but they have access to it without paying anything extra. That's one of the perks of being a Patreon supporter. So it would be pretty cool if I got any Patreon supporters in the stream today so they can see this font before it's ready and tell me if they like it. Ooh, speaking of my Patreon supporters, my friend and supporter Liz got married this weekend. Congratulations, Liz. Does anybody else use the pencil tool like this? Like, use it to reshape things you already have and kind of make some changes as you go? I think it's the best way, especially to get like a more hand-drawn look and feel. Clean up some edges like that. Make some choices and changes as you go. It's one of my favorite things to do. Probably should have eaten some food before I started a middle of the day near lunchtime stream. Man, I really wish that I could get a stream key for my TikTok page, so that way I could also stream there, because I feel like since I have the most followers on TikTok, it would be like a really cool benefit to be able to do live stream on there. Last time I tried to like simulcast this, I had my phone literally like aimed above my screen and I was just drawing like that. But yeah, I didn't get a lot of positive feedback from that style of streaming. So I really, really wish I could just get a stream key and run it the same way I do the Twitch and YouTube live at the same time. Yeah, I like how there's some variants here. I didn't really get that here. I think I need to move my pencil tool a little more as I'm drawing. Kind of get a little bump, little lump. Yeah, I kind of like that better. Still don't love it. S's are always the worst part for me. I always struggle the most. If you ever see like if I do this and it's like sped up and 600 times or whatever, you'll always see it pause on the S while I do something like that, trying to fix it because I'm just struggling to get it the way I want it to be. And yeah, I think S's are the bane of my font creating existence. Oh no. What did I do? Let's just do that. Definitely want to create some imperfections on the side, but I don't want it to look like sloppy or just really bad. Just want it to be a little bit wobbly, I think that gives it like an authentic hand done like feel, which is what I'm usually going for when I create my fonts. do. I'm glad that I got most of these letters done pretty quick, because typically I take a lot more time at the beginning, like creating the letters for the font, than I do like editing their shapes and things after, and actually turning it into the font. So it's nice. This time it was like actually super fast because I was just running through it like similar to my like handwriting. And now I get to take a little bit more extra time on these, you know, little imperfections and not so perfect lines. Oh man, yeah, this is a nice way to spend a Sunday, trying to relax a little bit while you actually do have work to do, because this way it's like you get both things done. I'm not like completely stressing out about it. And then when I'm done with this, I'll just move on to the things that I can't quite do on the live stream. And hopefully the whole work block that I have set up for today will be nice and chill. All right, I've got to confess, this morning I woke up very early, and as I was trying to get my day started, I decided to be extremely basic and get a pumpkin spice latte. Because, man, like it or not, well, like the idea or not, it tastes fucking good, and I can't deny it. I was like literally like one of those people just like ready, waiting for it to come back, counting down the days. No, I didn't have like a calendar or anything, as far as you know. As far as you know. All right. Those are looking pretty good. I'm almost done with my alpha. I'm just going to use the same characters for my capitals and my lower cases, because that is typically what I do, because I just like it. And like I said, I sell my fonts extremely cheap. So, you know, I'm just going to do the bare minimum. I'm just kidding. I put effort into this. Canna Creative Typography. Hello. Yes, thank you. I was just saying I'm doing the bare minimum right as you hopped in my chat. Welcome. So I'm working on this new font here, and I started with just, creating some letters with just regular strokes. Outlined it and am kind of roughing them up a little bit to give it more of a hand-drawn look and feel. So that is typically what my fonts look like. So I like these little imperfections and lumps. Gives it some character. All right, let's round out all the edges on these numbers. Get a nice start there. I was trying to make something that looked a little bit like, slightly vintage, slightly hand painted. Where do you sell your fonts? Creative Market? Yes, I do sell my fonts on Creative Market, but I don't like to send people there, particularly because I sell my fonts for $3 on my personal website, nickqart.com. And Creative Market recently raised their prices this year, and so I couldn't sell my fonts for anything less than $12. So I tried bundling 4 fonts for $12 so that the deal would be, better. And Creative Market actually like automatically upped all of my single fonts to the $12 price point. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't really see that you have the option to get like a pack of them. And sometimes they still purchase them for $12. And I feel really, really guilty, really bad. So if I get the chance to talk to people, I definitely point them to my website so they can get them for $3. It's a very long-winded answer. I'm sorry. But yeah, most of my fonts are in a similar fashion, a little bit hand-drawn, a little bit messy, not super clean, and I don't include a ton of extras because I want to keep them at the $3 price point. Like I think that's what I would rather do for myself. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for asking. Are you a designer as well? I see the creative in your handle and assume, but that could really mean anything. Yes. Oh, I see a comment on the YouTube live as well. I was wondering whether it's possible to design entirely on Illustrator, including club posters, which I do mostly. Doug Lang, yes, it definitely is possible. I do most of my work in Illustrator. My illustration style kind of like lends itself to that, although, it could easily also be done in Photoshop. But I think being able to like collage things and just do different I would say this for type layouts, I always prefer Illustrator. So doing a poster or something like that, I'll absolutely start in Illustrator, start with the text layout. But I also do like full-on illustrations and things. My style is a little bit more like one color, so you may not be able to get all of the effects that you would in Photoshop, but I mean, you can throw grains, blurs, textures, just a lot of different sorts of things in Illustrator that you may not think you could compared to Photoshop, but I think it's absolutely possible. Kenna, yes, I'm a designer as well. Just getting started here on Twitch. Yeah, absolutely. I started streaming graphic design stuff in 2020 when I started sharing tutorials on my YouTube channel. And like the YouTube channel thing is like something I've been really interested in for a long time. And then when I left an old job, it was mainly because a lot of the designers there didn't really know Illustrator. Well, I didn't leave because of that. I was helping a lot of the designers there like remember things and teach them new things, and everybody kept saying like, oh, you're really good at this, you should be like a teacher. And so I decided to start my YouTube channel, and then 2020 happened and I really tried to focus on that. And YouTube's been a little bit slow going for what I was hoping, but I've stuck with it and I've done a lot of tutorials, but I've also kind of broke out and just do things like this where I just enjoy being on here and talking and, having conversations with people. And then I started posting my clips onto TikTok, and then my TikTok kind of blew up a little bit overnight from a post I had that got like 3 million views in like 2 days. So that was kind of crazy. And so now when I do this stream or I do a tutorial, I try to find pieces of it that I can easily like edit and pull for TikTok as well. But it's been cool because the last couple of streams I had people hop on and tell me they didn't know that I was streaming or that I was on Twitch. They were on Twitch and they saw my face and they were like, hey, I think I recognize that guy from somewhere. And it turned out that they had already been following me on TikTok, and you know, they were here for it. So that was awesome. Doug Lang, if you're still there on the YouTube stream, I want to show you one of my biggest favorite tools to do things like starting like a whole project and doing a poster in Illustrator is the blob brush, which is this tool right here. It's with the paintbrush, and you can just press Shift B and it'll take you to it. And what it is, this brush kind of lets you illustrate more like you would in Photoshop. So you can actually just like use something like a Wacom pen and get the pressure on it. So that's how I make a lot of illustrations. I usually just jump straight in, use the blob brush, and since I have a Cintiq, like I can draw straight on it, so that helps me a lot. But that's like a really useful tool. Canna, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, that was really awesome. I'm glad you found me today. There's not a lot of designers like on all the time, so I love finding new people and just being able to like, you know, always have a good option to watch whenever I hop on. So yeah, I appreciate it, Canna. Thank you so much. Man, I really cannot wait until I can stream across Instagram, TikTok, everything all at once. That would be super ideal. Oh, cool. I love this. Thanks for the insight. Could you possibly recommend a few sites to get CTOR resources I could use on Club Flyers? I'm guessing you meant Vector. Actually, I have a really good recommendation for smaller things like icons, things that you can use. You can get a basic use for or buy the license if you need to use it for something big. TheNounProject.com. That website is really awesome because you can just type in like any word basically, and it'll find icons that are already vector that you can use. So it is more icon based than illustration based, but it's come in handy a lot. It's super good. I will say I'm at the point where I'm finally able to justify paying for a actual like stock website. So I pay for a monthly subscription to Envato Elements, and Envato is really good. I mean, it's like super packed with things, and it's templates, vector illustrations, brushes, sound effects for my videos, stock footage, video templates. I mean, Envato is really awesome. I think I pay like maybe like $30 a month or like something like that. And but it's just come in handy so much, especially with fonts. They have like a ton of fonts that you can download there. Matter of fact, I have an affiliate link if you are interested in signing up for that. I gotta find what it is. Yep, I found it. So yeah, if you use that link and sign up for Envato, you'll get a discount and I'll get a tiny commission. So if that's something that you're interested, I mean, you can definitely go on there and like browse before you sign up or anything. But yeah, if you use that link, it would help me out tremendously. And I definitely highly recommend them. I mean, even without the opportunity to, drop the affiliate link in there, I still highly recommend them. Yeah, absolutely. The blob brush is super clutch. I mean, it is so helpful. And then I might even just do like a full video on it. I haven't done anything on my YouTube channel that's like specifically about the blob brush and illustrating with it, so that could definitely be something that I could make a video on. I went ahead and dropped that Envato link into the Twitch chat as well, just in case. You never know what the lurkers are doing. I need to be better at like plugging my affiliate links and things. Like I'm trying to move full time into doing video streaming, YouTube, like tutorials, like all this stuff, like content creation, I guess, like trying to move into it full time. I guess not full time, but as a bigger part of what I do, because I do have like a 9-to-5 job as a graphic designer, but doing all this stuff on the side has been super cool, and I would love it if it just like got me more opportunities. So I've been working really hard and busting my ass trying to make all of this stuff work. So, any little piece of it that I can add to it is incredible. But, I do get some questions in here a lot about the equipment I use and things. So I think I got a little bit of a insight on that sort of stuff. I think people like to hear my opinions and my recommendations and things. So it feels natural. I mean, I don't want to be all like salesy and shit. That gets rough real fast. But it is nice to share the opportunity and let people decide if they have a chance to support or not, One day I'm going to make a font with all of the special symbols and characters and all of the foreign characters, every letter with an apostrophe and a tilde and stuff, and then I will see why people sell their fonts for like $200. But then I think if I do it live, people will see why I sell mine for $3. All right, that might be a little too lumpy there. Pretty good. Whoa, this guy got cut off. Oh well, gives me the opportunity to redraw it and make it blobbier. I do like to make fonts with the blob brush as well, but sometimes when I start, I just use like a stroke because it kind of just makes more consistent lines that I can go and like mess with and edit later. But yeah, if I'm feeling crazy, or if I'm doing something that's like completely custom, like if I was doing a poster and I was just like drawing a band's name or something, I'll definitely start with the blob brush. But well, maybe I'll save this for my video, but I'm thinking about the kinds of uses for the blob brush that I can talk about. Depression 5. Actually, no, this is Illustrator. So they look very similar in their UI, but they work very, very different from each other. So with this, I'm able to quickly, edit shapes and kind of redraw things and move stuff around. So that's why I like to use Illustrator, but also most fonts are in this native format, vector. So making fonts in Illustrator just makes sense. And I actually have a plugin that I use to actually convert these characters that I'm drawing into a font file, which is super awesome. And they also used to have like an affiliate link, and I loved it because people would people saw some of my videos on YouTube where I was making fonts and showing how to make fonts specifically with that plugin. And I got a lot of commissions off of that back in the old days, like 2 years ago. And then they just decided to stop their affiliate program, which was a bummer, but I still cannot recommend this app more. I mean, it is super, super good, which I'll just show you guys right now. So I have it already open here, but it's in my extensions. It's called Font Self, and it'll probably have my oldest font that I just made in here. Yep, Barton Springs. And so it's, oh man, it's incredible. I'm almost done here. So if you stick around, you'll see how easy it is to create the new font with this. But the best part about Font Self is that it costs like $50. And I remember when I first started trying to make fonts, like, 10, 15 years ago, all of the font apps were like $300 or more. And so this one being so much lower than those, I mean, I would dare to call it cheap, even though $50 isn't always the cheapest, depending on the situation. But compared to $300 and the complexity of those $300 apps, like, just not worth it. I mean, okay, worth it, but this is way better. Only used Procreate. Yeah, I do love Procreate. And so Procreate would be closer to Photoshop in making like bitmaps. So whenever you zoom in and they're like kind of pixely, that doesn't happen with vectors in Illustrator. So you can see this line just stays extremely sharp no matter how far I go in. And on top of that, let's just take one, please. I can take this like graphic here and just scale it up infinitely without losing any quality to those lines. It's crazy. It's super good. I just saved and realized I had the least creative name for this file, newfont.ai. Cool. That's probably from me being basic and getting a pumpkin spice latte this morning. Spillover from my basic morning. I think maybe I added this in because I'm going to Europe in 2 weeks. Because I do not always include other currency symbols, but I need to. All right, I'm excited to show you guys how Font Self works here in Illustrator. Last question. I've been struggling with font hierarchy and layout generally. I'd like to know what is the ultimate solution, a grid maybe, or what exactly kind of advice? That's a really good question. I don't get questions about font hierarchies and things like that too often. So what I would say as a general rule is like I think it's obvious the bigger an item is, the quicker it's going to draw your viewer's eye. So you need to figure out what the order of importance of your information, and not necessarily where it's placed in the layout. So if you have a very large band and they are the attention grabber, you definitely want their name to be the biggest thing on the poster. If it's like a festival or an event and that's the draw, you put that the biggest thing. And then you can kind of figure out where it goes from there. So in my head, I'm picturing a poster that's like, if it's an event sponsored by a popular, business locally, like Four Corners Brewery presents, Friday night, whatever, something. Then it's like the Friday night, whatever is like your biggest font. And then Four Corners Brewery presents is medium sized. And then maybe even in the same size, you list like your attractions, your bands, your events, whatever they have, food trucks, whatever, right? So you list out the things that are most important, that you, the most important information you want to deliver to the reader. And you can also split that up by alternating like colors of those fonts. So a lot of times that's how I'll do it. Like, and in particular, like for a poster, something that I'll do is sometimes lay it out in a way so that I know, like, oh, I want Four Corners Brewery to be here. I want the name of the event to be here. And then I want to list out all of my attractions. I'll go through and just make a layout like this in Illustrator that says, you can even put the text in there, like what it's going to say, or even just like the word title here. And then, maybe like the address to Four Corners Brewery is here and they're together, but, it's not as important as the name. And then you can kind of figure out like, oh, I want I have a call out and a badge like this. I have the time and RSVP information and logos. So then you kind of like figure out sort of like in a publication kind of way. And then you can go from there. Like that's probably the best advice that I can give you for figuring out that hierarchy, because you can zoom out and see those pieces and be able to tell what is the most important thing for what you need specifically for your poster. I hope that helps. Depression 5, favorite coffee? That's a good question. And actually, it's a local coffee over here in my neighborhood. It's called White Rock Coffee in Dallas. And they have a coffee called a White Rocker. It's a latte with white chocolate and caramel. And I'm like a sweets person, so that hits the spot every time. And Europe sounds cool. Yes, I'm excited. I've been a couple times. This will be my third time visiting London, my second time visiting Paris, and my first time visiting Brussels and Amsterdam. But yep, that's the plan. I've been working all week on freelance, trying to, get a little bit of extra cash for the trip. We booked our Airbnbs and hotels yesterday, so super, super excited. I got my little donation goal down on the bottom. I'm working on getting a GoPro so that I can still kind of, do some content while I'm out on the road without necessarily having to pull out my Canon camera every single time I need to do something. So yeah, I'm super excited. A friend of mine actually just donated $100 to my GoPro fund, which was incredible. and I got to shout him out. He makes clothing, and I did his logo and I did some graphics for him. It's Uno Mas Ropa. Let me throw his URL in the chat because I got to shout him out big time for that donation. I mean, he absolutely did not have to do that. That was a real friend move. Doug, cool. I'm glad that helped. Like that was like a question, kind of a curveball question, because I usually get like technical questions like, you know, how does the pen tool work or things like that. So like that's kind of like a bigger concept kind of question. So I'm glad that I was able to answer that for you. All right, I'm ready to move into font self. And so the first thing you have to do to prepare it. So when I live traced this earlier and then started editing it, it made it all one piece. So I need to ungroup everything first so that each individual character is one thing. So anything like this exclamation and percent, anything that's multiple things together, they have to be grouped. So I need to go through and do that. Hope I don't miss anything, which I will find out later if I did. But all of this stuff can just be grouped with itself. And now each one of these things is its own piece. So now I'm just going to open font self and make a new font, not a new style. And then all I have to do is select all of my characters. And then there's a button here for the capital or uppercase. So I just click that and they're all imported. And since I'm using the same characters for my lowercase, I just keep them selected and I hit that. And now I've got all of my upper and lowercase stuff in there. And then I have my numbers. So I'm gonna select all of them and press 0 through 9. And now all the numbers are added. And then the rest of these characters, I just select them all together and then hit this batch button. And now I do have to go through and individually mark out what each one of these things are, just using my keyboard. And I usually try to make them in the order that they are on the top row of the keyboard here. So it's easy to kind of just keep this flowing. I think that's supposed to be the straight up and down bar. Oh, maybe not. Okay, I think I messed something up here, but I can fix it later when I find it. Okay, that's the backslash. So now it's wanting me to replace it. So yeah, I'll have to find out what I messed up. It's hard because it's a little bit italicized. Okay, I need to use option now. Option 2 for the trademark. Oops, no, that's sense. This is where I start getting confused. Uh-oh. Okay, I can't find that one, but I'll come back to it. Wait. No, this should be that. Depression 5, where are you from? Man, okay, I'm struggling to find some of these things that I did. Oh, you know what? I think I messed up my percentage sign. And I think that's where some of this extra stuff is coming from. So I'm going to have to find and fix that later. But for now, just want to show y'all how this works out. Like, obviously all of these characters are in here. And so the way that
this works is that you go into advanced and you can actually come in here and space these and go into kerning and kern them specifically how you want. And you can either like click and drag items around, or in the spacing, you can actually use legit calculations and put in all these numbers or whatever and go through every single character, every single pairing, and the uppercase and lowercase and numbers and all that stuff. Or you can just press this button right here that says smart and click smart space and kern, and it just literally does the whole entire thing for you. And it's incredible. And it even brags. It's like right here trying to flex. It says how many glyphs and characters and things that it kerned, how much time it saved you, and it's usually like 3 or 4 hours. I mean, it's amazing. It's so cool. I cannot like sing its praises any higher. And then all you have to do is save it, or actually you can install it first, and then now we can pick a name. Oh, you're from Austin. Cool. I'm from Dallas. And funny enough, I actually name all of my fonts based off of small towns in Texas. That's why my last one was called Barton Springs. And I usually just go try to find a small town in Texas. I have a Wikipedia page. And then I try to find a name based on that. Or I've actually used different areas. So like, yeah, I've used counties, I've used towns. I already used the small town that I'm from, the small town my dad was born in. No, actually, I haven't used that one, but I think it might already be a font name. It looks like it may not be the name of a font. So my dad was born in Moody, Texas. And I just searched Moody font. And it seems as though... Oh, yeah, there is one called that. Dang. I was able to use the town that he lived in before he passed away, which was Cuero, Texas. And I used Yorktown, Texas, which is where I was born. But it's all good. We can find one. So I couldn't use the town that my girlfriend was born in, because that one was taken, but I was able to use the county. So I wonder what county Moody is in. Oh, it was right there on my page. That's weird. McLennan, that doesn't sound very cool. Are there any towns around Austin that have like a cool name? Like that would actually be very serendipitous that you're from Austin in the stream right now. It would have been cool if I was doing the Barton Springs one, but I already finished that one. Belton. Oh, what is that one? Bishop Hills sounds kind of cool. I've used Bernie. And I've used Brazos. Some of them I don't even know how to pronounce, but I just use them anyway. Burleson, Bynum. Bynum is kind of unique. All right. It doesn't look like Bynum is taken as a font name. So that one might be the one. Salado, that's a good one. Somebody on Behance has one called Slido. I could just put those two together, Slido Driftwood, and make that the title, and then nobody else is going to have that. The hard part about fonts is like if somebody has it installed on their machine and then they try to install another one with the same name, it kind of takes over. So like they've got to be unique, but I think putting Slido and Driftwood together is the winner right here. But I do always add the NQ for my initials just to make sure that if somebody else has this font name and I didn't find it, it's going to be unique. All right, so that thing is installed now here on my machine, and let's see if it comes up. Awesome. So now that is a brand new font. And I can just use it like I would anything else. Man, okay, that came out really awesome. That was definitely worth the work of giving it that little bit of wobbly kind of hand-drawn style. I mean, this came out so cool. And then so the beauty of it is all of that little like extra stuff that you could do. You can go in and tweak the letters and the spacing and the kerning and all that extra stuff, and just make it kind of perfect to what you're doing. But I usually just love the way that they come out, like the way my fonts like end up looking. Any little flaws or imperfections actually kind of make it better to me. The only thing that I will do sometimes is make sure that they are on the same baseline. So it does look, it does look like this L is a little bit high. So I can actually just come in here and adjust that and lower it down slightly. Click install again. And it's hard to tell, but that little L just kind of popped down slightly and it looks perfect now. Man, this was awesome. This turned out so good. And it was like right within my hour time that I give myself on these streams. So that's going to be it for this one. I appreciate you guys so much. This was really awesome. Depression 5, I hope you come back. I'm going to do some more stuff, and I want to do some Procreate stuff at some point too, but I specifically want to do some things that show like how to convert from Procreate to Illustrator and, you know, be able to take those two things and put them together. Doug, I hope that blob brush works out for you. I hope that grid technique works out for you. You guys were awesome today. And yeah, I'll be streaming some more this week because I am trying to continue to raise funds for that GoPro. So I appreciate you guys, and